Exactly what makes a host or radio performer indispensable? With all the changes radio has gone through, and with more on the way, this may seem like a trick question, but it's not. In her book, Yappy Days, Behind the Scenes with Newsers, Schmoozers, Boozers, and Losers, longtime network radio producer and our friend Bernadette Duncan writes, "It is the loyal legion of fans that make an appointment to listen to that particular host every day and tell their friends about what they heard the day before. That is music to the ears of a consultant, which I am. I remind the hosts I coach that ratings methodology is a memory test. So you don't earn listening tomorrow if today sounds like yesterday. This is something that jumps out of the speaker when I listen to air checks that local talk hosts and DJs send me." That's the show half of show business. As for the other half, Bernadette notes another way local hosts become indispensable to their station. It is also the large pool of advertisers that believe their businesses are significantly enhanced by being associated with that particular host and are willing to pay large sums for a personal product endorsement. Since consolidation, radio is lots less local than it used to be, and that spells opportunity for local talent. Katz Media Group Executive Vice President of Strategy, Stacy Lynn Schulman, figures, now more than ever, localism is the critical differentiator in the media mix, giving local broadcasters a unique opportunity to outshine other communication channels. And those other channels include other radio stations. If your competition is robotic and you're doing solid local radio, you have the advantage. Broadcast advertising that is localized stands out because the velocity and variety of digital interactions today have multiplied our level of distraction and numbed us to the constant barrage of retargeted, personalized digital ads. The infiltration of technology into every part of our lives has made many people seek out personal, low-tech, high-touch experiences and relationships with companies they patronize. Said another way, local radio can still be special if it still has local employees. Robots can't host events and do remotes. Local radio is still local retailers' best friend, and that's not an opinion. Data from the Radio Advertising Bureau and elsewhere continues to demonstrate that radio is the most efficient way to tell something to a lot of people, and the relationship we have with listeners can be a powerful bond. Local radio can still be the most effective ad medium for local advertisers defending share against big box stores and e-commerce competitors in any category. But whatever we're saying is competing with lots of other messages for the listener's attention. Technique has never been more important, so I'm here to share some tips for doing effective endorsement spots. First things first, it is imperative that your pitch convey specific benefits. Recently, I heard spots touting an insurance agency that has been in business since 1957. Certainly, that's evidence they must be doing something right, but it's too subtle. It's talking about the advertiser, not the consumer. And demographically, it's hard to relate to. Only the eldest 10% of the coveted 25-54 demographic was alive in 1957, and they were tots at the time. What have you done for me lately? What is the insurance agency's problem? Internet competitors who are heavy national and online advertisers. What's the benefit of using a local agent? Personal service. There's a real live human being right here locally. Here's copy I wrote for a client station's advertiser. Hopefully, you'll never get in an accident, but that's why they call it insurance. And if you do need to file a claim, Mary Beth and her staff are right here and will handle everything for you quickly. It's what they do. Who do you call if you got your insurance online? Flo? A gecko? Remember, as you emphasize personal service, convey benefits. Don't just drop names. Too often, live spots include client shout-outs that are off message. With money so tight now, advertisers are more focused than ever on specific return on investment rather than simple brand building. Saying hello to them on air won't ensure continued business when those clients are making tough choices about their advertising expense. Also important, start strong. The beginning of a commercial is a common tune-out moment, so don't spend too much time setting up the spot. Make the very first sentence a grabber. If the first words of commercial copy are the advertiser's name, rewrite the copy. You're trying to close too soon. It's like proposing on the first date, and you're signaling, here comes a commercial. Instead, can the very first sentence be a question, which includes you and or your? Start in their world, articulating the need for what the advertiser sells, and walk them into the advertiser's world. Here's a phrase to avoid in endorsement spots. My good friends at... name of business. This sounds phonier than you realize. Work both sides of the brain. One brain hemisphere processes facts. The other processes feelings. Flex both of them and you'll have the listener's scalp tingling. Example? I wrote a spot for a local supermarket group. For the right brain, the feeling part, I described how something tasted. Let them feel that little drool on your chin when you bite into such a ripe peach. We called it Farm Fresh and made availability sound like a brief seasonal opportunity. For the left brain, the thinking part, make sense. We mentioned how quickly you're able to check out. The busy mobile adults advertisers want to meet hate waiting. And we mentioned a checkout aisle with no candy and no tabloids, which moms could appreciate. Is there covered parking? Make that your first and last line on a rainy day. Sound relatable. Remember, you are a customer too, recommending this business to other customers who trust you. If you're as busy as I am, you'll appreciate name of store. Allude to your own customer experience. I was there yesterday. And here's a great example from one of my client stations. It's a spot for a high-end camera store, assuring shoppers that, unlike any online retailer, they'll show you how to use it. Hand-holding is a key differentiator for brick-and-mortar retailers defending against e-commerce and big-box stores. And here's a great closer you may have seen on TV spots for OurTime.com, the over 50 dating site. Start today for free. All of this is about your technique, but when you endorse a product or service, you're putting your personal brand on the line. Credibility is the key to endorsement spots. So be discerning two ways. Integrity. Never endorse anything that will disappoint your listener. And avoid the quality-quantity trade-off. The more endorsements you do, the less special they are. Know when to say when. If you'd like to know more, to see my video, Writing Results Producing Radio Commercials, click For Sales at the top of any page at hollandcooke.com. There's no password or login required. And on YouTube, search Holland Cooke Gray is Gold for a fact-packed 12-minute video listing advertisers you should pitch to the big retail spenders who are radio's most habitual listeners.